Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to have a look at the, I suppose, all over the place news when it comes to War Thunder. See, this video is kind of packaging together a bunch of different things that have started to go on, because a lot of little things got announced today, and putting it in one video seems to be the way to go. The first one is a new Pages of History. So to start off with, in December, we're going to get Ekaterina Mikhailova, who is a lady from the Soviet Union. She was a nurse. It says, the beginning of the German invasion of the USSR found 15-year-old Ekaterina Mikhailova near Smolensk, where she lied about her age and enlisted as a nurse into the local rifle unit. She went through the entirety of the war from February 1943 as a nurse instructor in the Marine Battalion, where she repeatedly participated in dangerous landing operations. On the 4th of December 1944, during the Battle of the Fortress of Lyok, while being seriously wounded and soaked in icy water, she saved drowning wounded soldiers and fought off advancing enemies. For this, she was presented with the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union. It's always weird reading these stories because they just always seem very fantastical, but then I do remember in history sometimes people do insanely heroic things. So, simple as, you'll be able to get good old Mikhailova, and the way to get it is to complete the 8 tasks consecutively, or just purchase the profile picture for GE. The tasks themselves don't seem too bad, pretty standard stuff actually. The first one, from the 1st to the 4th, is Opatovatsky Landing, which is from 1944. It's between the USSR and, of course, Germany, so you'll be using the standard stuff from there. Then, the 5th to the 8th, you got the Battle of Seo, which is from 1943 to 1944. It's around good old Papua New Guinea, so that'll be US versus Japan. Probably some decent naval stuff involved there. From the 9th to the 12th, you got Operation Compass from 1940 on the North African campaign. Britain versus, of course, Germany. So that should be pretty fun. Operation Winter Storm comes next from the 12th to the 15th, which is Stalingrad, 1942. One of the bloodiest battles in history between the USSR and, of course, Germany. The 16th to the 19th finds the Ardennes Offensive, which is from 1944. The last gasp offensive from the Germans, where basically it was going to be used as a bargaining chip for a good old ceasefire. Unless you're Adolf Hitler, then you just kind of decide to keep on ramming. But yeah, didn't work too well, and eventually got shut down, seen as I said, the last gasp of the German forces. From the 19th of December to the 22nd, you got the Kurz-Oboyan Offensive Operation in 1941. This is between the Soviets and I believe the Germans, so that should be pretty fun. Then the 23rd to the 26th, Battle of Chanska. This is the Japanese army in 1941 against China. So we might actually have some Chinese stuff which is involved in this one. I don't think we've had any Chinese stuff previously in the Pages of History. That part of history as well, the Japan-China stuff, is one of those which can be very rough to go through because there's a lot of statistics and a lot of, I suppose, not concrete information about it because both sides disagree on what actually happened. So it can be a bit of a touchy subject, so we'll see what goes on. From the 27th of December to the 31st, you got the Battle of the Barents Sea, and that's 1942. The German fleet, which included the Hipper and the Lutzow, maybe the Lutzow will be in the next update, as well as several destroyers, overtook a British Arctic convoy heading to Murmansk in the Barents Sea. And because of the date, the skirmish was called the New Year's Fight, and the stronger German forces failed to sink a single cargo ship in the convoy, and this defeat forced Hitler to abandon operations involving ships and concentrate on the use of submarines. So, shouldn't be too bad. 2 naval ones and also a Chinese one, all for the good old profile pick. Pages of History is really good. I'm super happy that they have them in the game, and really nice to see, if I'm honest. Also, with the 11th anniversary tournament finished, now we are getting the Esports II trophy. So if you're interested, a bunch of kind of sassy skins, which have some very bright colours, and also if you missed out on the Twitch drops, all of these will be available in the Esports Trophy 2. It kind of sucks when it comes to the esports stuff. Like, I've talked about it in the past. I don't like the fact that it's being funded by RNG mechanics, especially since loot boxes are one of the banes of pretty much every existence, especially even in War Thunder, where it can only be one of the mechanisms where you can get specific things, and that sucks. You also had, of course, the cheating issues when it came to the tournaments themselves, so it is kind of all over the place. It was nice to see a lot of people enjoy the tournaments, though. When it comes to the esports side of things, and obviously they're becoming more and more professional, they're getting more and more graphics. It's nice, you know, overall the streams look pretty good. It seems to be one of the only tournaments, though, that as, you know, you get closer to the finals, less and less people watch, because, well, people are literally watching it only for the camos and not for the actual tournaments. But as long as the organizers are happy, as long as the ad revenue is high, and everybody's getting paid, I suppose nobody cares, but it seems kind of odd that the main thrust of the tournament is for people to get camouflages and not to actually watch the competitions. There was also a bunch of data mines from Ashida, so if you want to check them out, I'll leave them in the description. Basically, the main thrust of them was just following through on the changelogs that we've kind of seen. There's a few different things, like they changed the TWS and HMD display codes, so they're obviously not matched up with the UI. I believe that was on the changelogs though. They also changed some weapon loadouts for the MiG-21 SBSK and also the Harrier GR7, but what they did is they just changed which required modification was needed for them, so that isn't really a huge deal, at least for the SBSK. For the GR7 it does make a bit of difference, but not a huge amount. The Key 48-2 stat card has been corrected, so it actually has 5 crew members on it, and also they did, of course, all of the economy changes, which came in as well. The new title in the black was added, and also functionalities, special ships, used to be available for everyone, and now it's only available for Gaijin, devs, and testers. So those good old special ships are, of course, if you didn't know, the submarines, and also a few other things which are turning up. So should be quite fun. A lot of stuff in the future, which will come in Naval, and it's a lot to talk about and quite cool to see. So definitely an interesting thing to have a look at. There was also another data mine where they changed a bunch of other stuff. So the Type 1492, the Tails RDY, the APG 68 V5, the V7, and also the V9. They removed the ACM standby to lock, they added standby to ACM lock, and also added standby to HMD standby. So that will obviously affect how all those go. The N010 Zook and also the 10M Zook M, they separated the search and ACM lock scan pattern switch, and the APP-73, they now detect missile launch from the following radar locks: the Pulse CW, MPRF CW, and HPRF CW. It's insane the amount of work, by the way, that they've put into all of these things. It is absolutely nuts. At the same time, the Type 79 ATGM, the wing area multiplier has been increased, the distance from CM to stabilizers has also been increased, the boost burn time has been decreased, but the boost force has been doubled. So basically, what that means is the vehicle's burn time, or sorry, the missile's burn time is less, but it will accelerate a lot quicker, which means it will be easier to control. The other thing is the max G load has gone to 9 Gs from 4, so now it shouldn't just ram straight into the ground after launch, which is fantastic. Also at the same time, tech tree changes. The SBZ-12-3 LGS is now shown for everybody. The same with the B7A2, since I believe they're now available on the market. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, those were the previous Battle Pass stuff. Hopefully the Battle Pass stuff has been going well for people. I know it can be a bit tough. This one has been a little bit all over the place for me, but we're getting it done just to kind of get everything sorted. As always, though, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Juan the Panda, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Bareen, Peter Grayling, Alan Hacker, Sem Alslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R., and also Lafouche for supporting the channel.